Hi, Collective. This is a collective and daily download that I got for the entire collective. Spirit told me that it did not have a Zodiac sign attached to it, and it's also a timeless message. So whatever your sun, rising, moon, Venus, or Mercury placement is, this is meant for you. It doesn't matter your placements. And again, timeless. Just as always, keep in mind, this is a general reading. It's not directed specifically at one person. So if you don't feel like this message is for you, you can just click off and leave it behind. It's probably meant for someone else here in the Soma Chandra Libra Collective. If you want to book a private reading with me, the link to my website is down in the description below this video. There are readings posted for both Libra and Sagittarius. I'll post again in a couple days. If you're new, welcome to Soma Chandra Libra. This channel is just for Libra and Sag. Subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I read for you. All right, let's get into it. This is deep. I'm feeling a lot of Plutonian energy, a lot of Scorpionic energy. This message is about something that has been unearthed but doesn't want to be looked at and doesn't want to be seen. I also think I felt the planet of Pluto, where what you're going through could really lead you to a deep transformation. In particular, if you can humbly see and address this theme and these themes in your life. But I really think that Spirit's trying to help some of you get in touch with your deeper motivations in order to see maybe some original wounds and where they've led you up until this point, and the need to expose them so that, and expose yourself and out yourself so that you can continue to move towards a path of transformation. And that starts with disillusionment and really getting in touch with what's driving you on a deep and subconscious level. I definitely think we are dealing with the emotion of fear and anger. I sense a lot of ego being bruised and triggered on a deep subconscious level, definitely dealing with themes such as possessiveness, fantasy, limerence, codependency. But you're really at this turning point. Some of you are being tested outwardly to see if you'll repeat an old cycle or continue to move with uncomfortable growing pains into a new version of you. Humans, though, are a bit redundant and resistant and stubborn to spiritual transformation because giving up old vices and old ways of being, regardless of how unhealthy they were or how miserable they made us, they become comfortable and all we know. So I would encourage you moving forward to believe in yourself and know that it's okay to be afraid. It's okay not to know what to do next if you're in a cycle of dharma where you're building new skills and growing, because growth does come with pain and discomfort. So I started with they said channel a message for the entire collective. Start with the Soma Chandra Oracle deck. 4 cards came out. They did want me to look at the bottom. Spiritual awakening, kicking and screaming. Yeah, we usually do kick and scream through a spiritual awakening. Misery loves company, and let's try again. At the bottom of the deck is I almost lost everything. So if this message isn't for you, it could be a message about someone around you that's in your aura, it's in your energy. You might need to know and understand this about either yourself or them. Someone is having a spiritual awakening, but they are kicking and screaming through the process. It's difficult. A part of them does not want to change. A wounded inner child, wounded adult ego, the codependent mind, the limerent mind and body, the limerent heart, the codependent heart, the shadow self. The highest expression of it wants to be discovered and doesn't want to be ignored. It wants to be discovered and exposed so that it can be healed. But the lesser expression of that doesn't want to change. So someone is kicking and screaming through a spiritual awakening. Misery loves company, and let's try again. Well, that's kind of self-explanatory, or I think it's very obvious for a lot of you. Let's try again because my misery needs some company. Someone almost lost everything. I hear that someone is very, very worried about material comforts. And their survival mechanisms are really triggered at this point, and they are telling themselves maybe they can't make it without a person. But it's really just, hey, let's try again because I miss being miserable. That's tough. No judgment, because I've been there. I did this shit to myself for a little over a decade, you guys. I made it out, and so can you. So someone does want to try something again. This may also be coming in the form of a family member, a friend, or perhaps a career path even. Like, well, some of you are constantly in the role of caretaker. You deal with a miserable person that makes you miserable. They don't want to change. Yeah. And someone almost lost everything once. They may stay in a scenario where it's safe and comfy, but they're not at all happy. I said, okay, tell me a little bit more, Spirit, to illuminate this on the surface. And I used the Illumination Oracle deck. Old footage, eject, phantom lover, fantasy, love potential, but then higher purpose. Possessiveness is at the bottom of the deck. Mine, round and round. It really goes nowhere. Okay, well, I'm hearing two messages. The first one is some of you are dealing with the concept of the twin flame, but it's total bullshit. You guys, like, I kind of get the sense based on talking to people and essentially interviewing them that the majority of people walking around like don't even really know what the twin flame connection or theory actually means. It's not at all what you think it is. And if you had it explained to you in the correct way, you might raise your eyebrow and like say, I don't know, I don't really want that job with a partner. I'm happy just to like pay taxes and have a decent life and, get our bills paid. The twin flame relationship invites two people to raise the vibration of the collective, either in their tribe, community, family, or just with each other together. And you are quite literally invited to it. And it can only be expressed through the highest versions of yourself. If you are feeling anything at all negative, that's not a twin. And it is incredibly rare. It's very, very rare. So no offense, but all y'all wandering around saying, he's my twin or he's my false twin, I call bullshit. That's just my very unpopular personal opinion. Because it's like, oh, there's love potential here, and together we could go to a higher purpose. It's a fantasy, and it's based on ego and a possessiveness. So it's like this false twin thing. Someone thought they could get to a higher purpose. Someone may tell you they want to do something really important with you, and the two of you could, quote unquote, do great things together. One of you just refuses to let the other one go. I just heard a song. I can't remember the name of the group. It came out probably almost a decade ago or more. It's called You Better Dig Too. Like, if you dig a grave for me, you better dig too, because when I die, if I die, I'll be damned. I'm taking him with me. Like, if I go, he goes or she goes. There is a person that will not let you go. For some of you, this is like an employer or a family member. For others of you, it's a romantic relationship. But it's a fantasy that needs to be ejected. Someone will not let something go. I'm hearing mostly that someone just keeps coming back to it. They keep fantasizing about the potential, and their brain is possessive of this fantasy. The brain doesn't want to let it go, and the body doesn't want to let it go either, because anytime they try to let it go, they're met with sleeplessness, depression, anxiety, an inability to eat and concentrate. Your brain and your body are like, no, this is all we fucking know, dude. You're not going to take this fantasy away. I'm also hearing for a few of you, this may be like a limerent fantasy about like a life path or a career path that you fantasize a lot about, but you won't take action towards, because having is not so pleasing a thing as wanting. I think a theme like that came out. I think it was for Sagittarius last week. I can't remember. And it's just tough. It's just tough because there was potential. And a part of it could have fulfilled a higher purpose within you. But the fantasizing and the possessiveness just gets in the way and will not allow the old stuff to be ejected. Yeah. Watch out for other people like projecting their hopes and wishes for you or for themselves onto you. It's just going to go round and around. And this is so tough. I was like, ouch, especially that like, let's try again, misery loves company, I'm kicking and screaming. I was like, okay, well, that's the outside expression. I pulled out my human design deck because this deck really shows me like human design is different than astrology. It incorporates astrology, but it gives you a deeper and some more insightful point of view sometimes, and shows you how maybe a lot of different things in the universe or in the solar system are impacting you all at once. Keep in mind that you may or may not have these channels or gates activated in your body, like they're undefined in your chart, but these themes are activated at the moment. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's pouring rain here in the San Francisco Bay Area. We've been getting dumped on for a week, so sorry if it sounds like it's noisy in the background. So it's like, okay, so from the perspective of how we're designed, what is the collective dealing with? So we're dealing with the destiny of cycles. I love that, how she's ripping off an old skin, but I think that she's got nothing else underneath. We're dealing with the cross of cycles, a destiny of cycles. Someone's learning here. We're dealing with the cross of identification, and something flew into the reverse, and I think that this is the challenge. This woman's trying to figure something out here. And that's structure and individuality and insight and assimilation. So with the spiritual awakening, I think that some of you are struggling to listen and have rational insight at this point. The cross of cycles is about our drive, and it's about middles and endings, and it's about endurance, and it's about beginnings, and it's about evolution and development. It is about a destiny that involves transformation. And there's a channel, it involves a channel of mutation in your body. And you'll yield to a greater cause. And anyone that's playing out this theme continuously or even in the moment, this is a substantial theme for them. They're on a path of transformation, but they play out cycles over and over and over again because it helps them transform. So to the outside world, they look like they're just doing a constant do-over. But if they keep coming back and doing it over and over again, they will grow and grow and grow and grow and grow from the experience. So there's this cycle of developing and redeveloping and redoing and repeating and evolving and starting. This is good in some ways, but if it's not expressed correctly, you're just someone going in circles, and a relationship or some theme or some part of your life may have just been going in circles. You've been keeping up with it though, because you have learned a lot from it. I feel like this has led you to want to identify who you really are. The cross of identification involves a circuitry of logic in our bodies. And it holds the logic gates in our bodies and the abstract gates in our bodies. And I do think that you have been trying to focus on being solution focused and more practical. And not only improving yourself, but you want to contribute to solutions for a greater collective at large. And when we identify that in ourselves, it brings meaning to our whole lives, and it mirrors the experiences of others back to them. And you've been identifying your abilities, using your knowledge, laying a new foundation for yourself. This identification very much focuses on the future and how you see yourself in it. and how you can contribute to humanity at large with this destiny. It is about your path. And this destiny wants you to focus. It wants you to utilize skills. It wants you to come up with solutions for yourself before you do it for other people. Someone may not be able to come up with solutions on their own, but look, she's studying, she's got it on her own. So she's getting information from her top chakra, from spirit. She's, in the head and ajna center. It's giving her ideas, it's giving her answers, it's changing her opinion, it's forming concepts for her. And that's also affecting what she's driven towards, with that root chakra. It's making someone more confident, but there are themes of scrutinizing the details, dealing with doubt, a fractal stream, and yet an enthusiasm to move forward, knowing that someone has been playing out a cycle of reinvention over and over and over and over and over again. Now, they could hit it this time. They could hit it and continue forward, but not if they cave into the misery loves company and let's do something again just because it feels comfortable and I'm possessive of someone, because you're kicking and screaming through a spiritual awakening. Honestly, my personal advice is let yourself fucking tantrum all the way through it, but don't stop. I went through this between the ages of 39 and 41. I tantrumed like a little brat the whole way through it. And that was better than going back and using my drug of choice, which was fucked up relationships. So if you're dealing with this theme, don't be embarrassed about the kicking and the screaming. There's a reason you're doing it. It's because you're having an awakening. You can't unsee what you've seen. You are learning new skills. And this reinvention can lead to a true transformation if you allow it to. Yeah, but here's your problem. This channel in your body, this is undefined in my human design chart. I have this wide open head and ajna center with absolutely no gates or channels activated. My brain is like a giant sponge and I just let information flow through me. I manage to get up and talk every day though, because I do have an activated throat chakra, but this is about structure of individuality. And it's about insight that leads to a healthy assimilation. Because what happens here is we've got this gate 43 activated in your ajna center. And that's not where unless you have an outer authority in your human design, your ajna center is just meant to take in information. You're supposed to be making decisions with your body. It's the ajna is about where ideas come in and insight and thoughts and answers and opinions and where we conceptualize things. And then it's going to connect, I don't know if you can see that, down into the throat chakra. And that's where we communicate and manifest and we materialize and we speak and we do. I get the sense that some of you don't have this channel complete in your body. Like you have one of the lines activated, either in the head or the throat, but you might not have the other one activated. And what happens is we draw people towards us that will complete the channel for us and the circuit for us, whether that's a good idea or not. Someone is struggling to listen. Someone, because it came in the reverse. Someone is making rationalizations. Someone is being very stubborn. Someone refuses to listen. Someone believes they need other people to make their choices for them and to think for them. It's really, and this is one of the, it's called one of the channels of deafness. Like, it's important to drown out other people's opinion and think for yourself and act for yourself sometimes. But I kind of get the sense that like good advice has been falling on deaf ears, or opinions have been changing over and over and over and over again. You don't know which end is up. someone is communicating with you in this very disorganized, disorienting, confusing way. Maybe you're doing that with yourself. That's what we do when we're rationalizing something. We gaslight ourselves. We talk ourselves and other people in circles. Someone could be doing that to you. You could be doing it to yourself. When this channel is activated within us, it gives us a quality to protect our own insights, but it can come with a cost of not listening. Someone does need to listen and believe what they hear, or believe there's a lack of communication. That's telling you something. If something is falling on deaf ears, it might be for a reason. I'm hearing that someone's like putting their hands over their ears going, blah, 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 I can't hear you, I can't hear you, I can't hear you. There's like this jam up between a thought actually materializing into the 3D. Someone may be bullshitting you, they're telling you things to plant a seed in your head, or you're telling yourself something to plant a seed in your own mind, but then it's never going to happen. So this is what's holding you back, or holding someone back here. Like, they can't put their money where their mouth is. They can't get thoughts to materialize. We can't move it from an opinion and an idea and an insight and a concept into a materialized doing. Yeah. Watch out that you're not communicating for other people because they're either bad at it or they refuse to. If they refuse to communicate, don't communicate for them just to satisfy yourself in the moment. Also, watch out for a person who's just like, you make excuses for them or yourself and you say, oh, I'm just bad at communication, or they're just bad at communication. Well, there was a time when I was bad at reading tarot and I practiced the shit out of it, and now I'm good at it. The point I'm trying to make is stop making excuses for that person. And harsh truth, if you want transformation, stop making excuses for yourself. Again, it's okay to kick and scream. You can do it. You can be like, I don't want to. I hate this. This is hard. I'm afraid. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, it is. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay that it's hard. It's okay that you're fucking terrified. It's okay that you have no idea what to do. Next. But don't go back to the old way. Otherwise, you're just going to get stuck in this loop of constant reinvention that your doubt hold you back, or scrutinizing and fear over details hold you back. Beginnings, middles, and ending. It's like, pick a goal before you move forward. Because these two together can be like mind numbing. This leads to, I never really knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. Okay, that's fine. Do 5 different things with your life all at once. You don't have to know, but yeah, I think there's a loss of focus for sure, because someone's stubborn and doesn't want to hear it, or is communicating for other people, or allowing others to communicate for them, or just an inability to manifest an idea into the 3D. Make sure you're getting good advice and you're taking it. If you're not going to take it, then don't ask for it. You may be trying to drag someone else through a spiritual awakening. Let's be the highest versions of ourselves together. They're like, nope, I like misery. You're going to keep me company here. Do you want to try again? Okay. No, you're not their teacher. You're not their healer. You're meant to teach and heal yourself. So I think the hiccup here is yes, it's important to know what your concepts and your ideas are, for sure. Find what you're passionate about and express that. That's what this channel and this circuitry wants you to do. And don't ignore good advice, for sure. And if something isn't manifesting, know that it's because of a stubbornness and just a fear to focus on the self. I believe in you. You can do it. You'll get to the higher purpose if you can eject the old footage, stop fantasizing about the phantom lover. There is love potential in a higher purpose, but not if y'all can't let each other go, or you can't let go of the old. Also, someone needs to hear this apparently about a career idea. You're afraid to share your ideas because you don't want it copied. It's a scorpionic energy. Patent it or copyright it. A funny thing happens when you share your ideas with the world. They don't belong to you anymore. So, hey, little dragon, you can either hoard your good idea and just live in a fantasy about how great it is, or you can actually put it out there into the world knowing that it doesn't belong to you anymore to a certain extent, and just make sure you take credit for it in some way. That might involve action, time, and money, but it's worth it because you have an amazing idea. Don't keep it to yourself. Yeah, don't keep it to yourself. It's necessary that it's shared with the world. They're pulling back and they're telling me to stop. Intense reading. Okay, collective, I hope that this resonates with you. If it does, I hope it helped you. I hope I wasn't too harsh either. Spirit told me, be the real you, Carrie Lee. Be that mouthy Queen of Swords with a with the Aquarius placements in your chart. So I hope that that was okay, you guys. Again, link to the website for private readings is down in the description below. I'm always listening to the universe for you. So I'm a Chandra Libra Collective. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.